Good evening, boxing world, and welcome to another edition of Fantasy Bout Hour, the channel dedicated to bringing you fantasy matchups on a regular basis. If there's a particular matchup that you want me to cover, please leave it in the comments section, and I promise to honor your request. This video is going to be a bit different, and it's regarding one of my favorite fighters and the most accomplished fighter of this era, in my opinion, which is Floyd Mayweather Jr. A lot of controversy surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr. Not a popular guy to some people. A lot of people don't like his style. They claim that it's boring. Sometimes he draws criticism because of his arrogance and because of his lavish lifestyle, or the glorification of his lavish lifestyle. And in this video, I'm just sort of led to kind of give you perspective on that. And, there is an entertainment value to boxing, or an entertainment aspect to boxing. And the way that you make money is to sell yourself. Floyd is a great businessman, as well as he is a great fighter. But you have to sell fights. You have to be strategic. And that's just the way that it is. And, some people may look at his personal life and not agree with some of the things that he's done. And some may look at his personality and not like his personality. And I get that. And at the end of the day, you're not going to be a fan of every fighter. But in my opinion, you have to be objective sometimes. And no matter how much you dislike a fighter, I feel that you have to be reasonable and at some point give credit where credit is due. And I feel that in the case of Floyd, people discredit everything that he does. People discredit all of his victories. There's always a way to explain it away. For example, when he went up to 154 to fight Canelo Alvarez. Now, we know good and well that Floyd doesn't belong at 154. Excuse me. And if you really look at it, Canelo had all the advantages going in. Being the younger guy, the bigger guy, the stronger guy. So Floyd assumed all the risk. Yet, he took the younger guy to school, and he deserves credit for that. In the case of Hatton. Oh, and by the way, gave Canelo his first loss. And in the case of Hatton, at a time where Hatton was destroying everything that was in front of him, Floyd Mayweather destroyed Hatton. And now all of a sudden Hatton was overhyped, overrated, whatever word you want to use. And of course he is, because Floyd beat him. And in the case of Chico, he beat Chico at a time to where Chico looked unbeatable and indestructible. But now we want to say that Chico was having personal problems and he wasn't focused on the fight, really. So Floyd doesn't get credit for that victory. And don't even get me started on Pacquiao. Oh my goodness. I won't even go into the injury, but another point that was made was Floyd waited Pacquiao out. And Pacquiao wasn't in his prime when Floyd fought him. But I have one question. Was Floyd in his prime? As a matter of fact, Floyd is older than Pacquiao. So, as good as Floyd is, he wasn't a spring chicken when they fought. So, give Floyd his props or his credit for that victory, please. I'm not saying that you have to fall in love with Floyd. I'm not even saying that you have to be a fan of Floyd. But at some point, we have to be reasonable, okay? I'm not a fan of every fighter. Every fighter is not my personal favorite. But I do have to give an honest analysis or give credit where credit is due when that fighter is doing great things in there. Okay? And so, the guy's a great fighter. Smart fighter. smart businessman. And you may not be a fan of his style. I personally love that extreme technical style. If I had my choice of any style, I love pure boxers. Although I've gained an appreciation, for every style in boxing, from brawling to boxer punchers to speed fighters, so on and so forth. If I had my choice, I'm going with the pure boxer. And that's just my personal preference. And that's the beautiful thing about boxing. So many styles, there's so many talents, a diversity of gifts, and you get the picture. And I wouldn't even blame you if you just dislike Floyd, okay? You can dislike him. I respect that. But to go out of your way to discredit legitimate victories is not fair and intellectually dishonest, okay? We know that Floyd is a gifted fighter. We know that he's a talented fighter and a skillful fighter and one of the best to do it. So, when we go down the road of, this fighter wasn't in their prime, or this fighter had an injury, or this fighter was too green, or now all of a sudden they're overrated just for the simple fact that Floyd beat them. And come on, people. Come on, fans. I'll be the first to admit that I have my personal biases. And sometimes it's hard for me to, go against my biases. But at some point we have to put on our analyzer hats, especially for us diehard fans. Okay. So, I'm sure I'll be labeled a Flomo, so on and so forth. Okay. And that's okay. We get into debates, and I can take the heat. I can take the heat. But I'm just trying to provide a perspective, my perspective. I'm just giving my opinion. I respect your opinion. At the end of the day, I'm just a fan with an opinion. Okay, so I'm just trying to provide it, and I'm just hoping to have some dialogue over this. So I'm looking forward to your comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.